Class 8 Biology, Chapter 5 Health and Hygiene. Good morning, students. Students, till now we have seen the definition of health, what are intrinsic and extrinsic factors, and what is the definition of disease, how one gets the disease, what is the meaning of congenital disease and acquired disease. Now today we will see the acquired disease. So I already told you that acquired diseases are the diseases which develop after the birth, and broadly they can be classified as communicable and non-communicable diseases. So just open your page number 79. Yes, and then see communicable diseases. So as you can see, the name is suggesting communicable diseases are the diseases that are transmitted from an infected person to a healthy person, either directly or indirectly. These diseases are caused by the entry of disease-causing organisms called germs or pathogens in the body. And then some microbial examples they are giving, like bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, and worms. And here worms is not a microbial organism, but the rest of the bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, they are microorganisms. And the diseases spread from person to person by personal contact or by bite of insects or through air or through food or by consumption of dirty water. Now students, come to next page, and there you can see a table showing the diseases and their causal organisms. Like bacteria, it can cause tuberculosis, which you know the another name, the short form is TB. Then diphtheria, tetanus, typhoid, cholera, pneumonia, whooping cough, and then food poisoning. Then by fungi, ringworm, athlete's foot, food poisoning. Then by virus, polio, rabies, chickenpox, measles, influenza, conjunctivitis, mumps, hepatitis, common cold, and then AIDS. Then diseases caused by protozoa are amoebic dysentery, malaria, sleeping sickness. Then diseases caused by worms are elephantiasis, ascariasis, teniasis. Some of the diseases like malaria you are already familiar with, polio, rabies, you have heard about these names, chickenpox. Okay, and most of these diseases, they are going to affect the children, small kids, but adults, they can also be infected. Okay, so how these diseases are caused? So whenever the TB causing bacteria enters one's body, then there it will cause TB, the disease. Tuberculosis it will cause. If a typhoid causing bacteria, of course there are different bacterias, likewise there are different fungi, likewise there are different viruses. Okay, so it is not a single virus who is causing polio, rabies, chickenpox altogether. Different viruses are there. One can cause polio, another type of virus can cause rabies, another type of virus can cause chickenpox, likewise. Okay, so we have these microbial infections, and this last one, it is not a, basically it is not a sort of microorganism, but yes, it is a very small organism. Okay, so it will cause elephantiasis. And what is this elephantiasis? Here the person who is suffering from, who is infected by this worm, so that person's foot will become swollen, and it will look like as the foot of an elephant. Let us see how this disease causing organisms, they enter our body. So they can enter our body through air or through dirty water or by consumption of stale food. Okay, and there are some other means also. So let us see. First, airborne diseases. So airborne diseases are those in which a person gets infected by inhaling the air which contains pathogens. Many diseases of the respiratory tract are airborne. So this must be obvious. So many diseases of the respiratory tract, you know the meaning of respiratory tract, that is our nose, lungs. Okay, so they are involved in our respiration. So if something, generally we inhale the things, we inhale the air or oxygen through nose. So many microbes are there in the air. So the chances are that the microorganisms which can infect our lungs, respiratory system, they will be airborne. Now bacteria and viruses that infect the nasal passage, throat, windpipe and lungs are present in saliva and mucus of an infected person. So a person who is suffering from disease, some respiratory disease, so that person's saliva must be carrying the microorganism. That nasal passage, throat, windpipe, lungs of such a person will be infected and they will be carrying microorganism, either virus or bacteria. Okay. Now these germs pass into the air. So whenever that person is sneezing or coughing, they will pass into the air. Okay. Now these fine droplets remain suspended in the air for quite some time. So whenever someone sneezes who is suffering from some sort of like cold, okay, so whenever he sneezes, the droplets remain. You know the meaning of droplets, the fine droplets coming out of his nose, that will remain suspended in air for quite some time. They will not settle down on some surfaces, but they will be present in the air itself for some time. Now when a healthy person inhales the infected air, then he or she catches the infection and becomes ill. So how we can use how we can prevent the such disease? By using handkerchief while coughing or sneezing can reduce the chances of such infections. So what are the airborne diseases example? So the germs of respiratory diseases like common cold, measles, influenza, tuberculosis, diphtheria, and then whooping cough, pneumonia and chickenpox spread through air. So students, this is all for today. Goodbye.